Hello, hello, good people. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Vaughn. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Few housekeeping notes. First, please like, share, and subscribe to the page. So please subscribe to the page, like any videos, content that really speaks to you. Please share your comments, your thoughts about the content that has been shared and share the page with someone. Bring folks over to the page, okay? Down below, you can see the correct spelling of my name. You have my Instagram information there. I post political news information all throughout the week on my IG page. Facebook's a little different, but if you just need a little pop of news, pop onto my IG page, okay? And then you also have my Cash App below because if you'd like to bless a sister, then bless a sister, and it will be greatly appreciated. All right, so this week, oh, so much to talk about. So many different things happen, but I really want to talk about. Okay, so this conversation is going to be a lot of information shared about men behaving badly, but this conversation really isn't about men. Um, and you'll see when I wrap up what I'm talking about. But let's start, first of all, with Serena Fairfax. Serena Fairfax, we found out this week, was unalived by her. He was her soon to be ex husband, Justin Fairfax, former lieutenant governor of Virginia. He unalived her, apparently in the basement of their home together, and then went up to the primary bedroom and unalived himself. His teen son had to call 911, and allegedly, he said to them that he sees holes in his mother's shirt. That's what he said to 911 when he called in. So, Serena, when we saw all this reporting, they talked about Justin, they talked about Justin's accomplishments and history, et cetera, but they never once mentioned her name. So I thought, number one, it's very important to say her name, Serena Fairfax, and also the fact that she was a mother of two, and she was also a dog mom. She graduated from Duke and VCU. She was a dentist. She was somebody's daughter, maybe someone's sister. She had installed cameras in the house because she was trying to protect herself from someone she was trying to legally divorce at the time. And I don't know if it was for financial reasons or I don't know what reason, because I'm seeing a lot of this here lately of couples that are staying under the same roof, but they're separated or they're going through a divorce process or custody stuff, etc. And this is not to speak specifically to her decision, Serena Fairfax decision, but this is just across the board. This is my opinion because I've been through this myself. Do not stay under the same roof. Do not stay under the same roof. I'm not putting any blame on her at all. But my recommendation to anyone, I knew my ex was abusive. I knew who he was. Some people don't know, and you don't really know who a person is until it comes down to them losing things like their money or their property or their job or their children or custody of their children. You really don't know what lengths a person will go to. And so that's why I believe it's, first of all, this is not a belief. This is statistically true. It is more dangerous for a woman who is in an abusive relationship, a domestic violence relationship. It escalates and becomes more dangerous for that woman when she tries to leave than everything that happened before. That's just a proven fact because the abuser starts to wrap their head around or begin to understand this person is not coming back. This person is not going to stay with me. And I'm just going to be very frank with you. When I know the exact moment when it hit my ex that I was very serious and I was not coming back this time. I had left him 2 times prior and I was not coming back this time. When he realized that was when he was served with child support papers, when he was served. And that day, we were meeting to exchange my daughter for her to spend the weekend with him. Never had any issues with him regarding my daughter. I knew who he was. Again, I'm telling you, I knew who he was. I knew what he was capable of. So I agreed to meet him at a mall, a busy mall parking lot. And he still beat me up in the mall parking lot with a freeway right next to us, a gas station over here, and hundreds of people in this parking lot at the mall. He did not care. So, anybody out there who is trying to leave an abusive situation or just trying to leave a situation and it's hostile and it's contentious and you're fighting over custody or money or property, I highly recommend don't stay in the home. And I know it might be more financially expedient um, for you to do so, but I would recommend, trust me, I've been through this. I've been through this. And I was out. I was out of the home. I had been out of the home for months, actually. And I know the service of those papers made him understand I wasn't coming back this time. And it escalated. It became so volatile that he did not care who was around or who saw whatever. So that is my recommendation to anyone, male or female, if you are in a situation like this. So, um, I mean, Justin unalived himself as well. So I don't know if there's any justice that can be done or taken here. You have 2 children who lost both of their parents because of this act. And it's sad. It's very sad. So I wanted to bring light to that. If any of you missed that, that happened this week. Moving on to Eric Swalwell, which I mentioned last week. But since last week, we have learned there have been four to five women who have come out and accused Eric Swalwell of either sexual harassment or sexual assault. I believe 2 of them have accused him of graping them while they believe they were under the influence of some sort of drug. Eric Swalwell. And apparently there is a history. There is a history that people on the Hill were very aware of. It was an inside secret, or the most talked about secret, or it was an inside secret. People knew, women were warned whenever they started working on the Hill about those that are predators. Tony Gonzalez also resigned this week. Eric Swalwell resigned. He dropped out of the governor's race and he resigned from Congress. Tony Gonzalez resigned from Congress as well. Now, in his situation, one of his aides that he had been sexually harassing, allegedly, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying allegedly, unalived herself by self-immolation. And if you don't know what that means, it means she set herself on fire. I say allegedly, we know that's how she died. But I say allegedly because, first of all, women don't tend to unalive themselves in very violent ways. Also, you had Tony Gonzalez, who had his career on the line. And it is my understanding that I don't know if this was her significant other, fiance, husband, But he had found out about what was going on, what was transpiring, what was happening. So, in my opinion, there are two men who need to be investigated before I will say that this woman, this young woman, set herself on fire. But that's what's out there in the media, that she did this to herself. Um, Moving on, we found out this week about this Rape Academy, or Grape Academy, sorry, YouTube, Grape Academy. And apparently there were 62 million visits to this website in 1 month, in the month of February. The highest number in 1 month of visits to this site. And there's also Telegram groups with all men where men can go and get educated on how they can drug their spouses, girlfriends, significant others, etc., and grape them on video to share with other men or to sell online to other men. And you had apparently in this Telegraph group men making statements such as, oh, they wanted to do this for so long, they just didn't know how to get away with it. There's apparently one of them that sells this grape drug to others for, I think, less than $200. And this individual is in this Telegram group. This is just so sickening. There was an original case that brought this to people's attention. And now we find out that this is a whole academy. There's a website. And just in this 1 month, the shortest month of the year, there were 62 million visits to this website, this Grape Academy website. And the original case that I remember hearing about was, I believe, somewhere out of England. And the husband had not only graped his wife on camera, he was drugging her and allowing other men to come and grape his wife as well. Moving on. Apparently there's a fuck club. There's a fuck club that is part of the Riverside, California Sheriff's Department. And Riverside, in my opinion, Riverside, California, the whole Inland Empire, if you don't live in California, when you hear Inland Empire, when you hear Corona, when you hear Riverside, you'll hear Riverside more than any of the other areas. In my opinion, it is the armpit of California. All the nastiest, shadiest, dirty ass shit happens in Riverside, California. Well, apparently there's a fuck club amongst the sheriff's department. Specifically, there were 5 correctional officers who have been moved to a different jail. That was their punishment. They just moved to a different jail. But let me tell you what they did. So they were targeting women who were being released from these jails and prisons and using grape to intimidate them as punishment, coercion, blackmail. They were going through the records, finding where these women lived. And the fuck club was a race to see who could score the most women, the most women who had been released from this jail or this prison, who could score the most or the highest number of women that they tracked down through their personal records after they were released from the prison. Now, obviously some shit was happening while they were in the prison, and these correctional officers were just moved to a different prison. No, none of that administrative leave. Of course, their, pension, retirement wasn't touched, their income wasn't touched. They were just moved to a different location so they can duplicate or do the same thing again. I don't know if it was another female prison, maybe they moved them to all male prison, but this happened or is happening in Riverside, California. Now, another important thing for Californians to know is that the sheriff, the lead head top cop, Bianco, is running for governor right now. So on his watch, this is happening in Riverside, California on his watch, and he is running for governor, and they're trying to keep it covered up because he is in the gubernatorial race. The raping of women used as coercion, blackmail, and intimidation and punishment. Also, on his watch, there are over 1,000 unsolved rape cases, some of which include allegations against some of his own members of his own sheriff's department that have gone uninvestigated on this Sheriff Bianco's watch. And also, I don't know if you saw this last week, there was a whole situation that happened in Riverside. SWAT was there, Sheriff's Department, all law enforcement was there. And this was a standoff. And one of the members from his Sheriff's Department was caught on camera, helicopter above, caught on camera on Bumble, swiping through women in the middle of a standoff. That just lets you know how unserious these people are. And now we find out they have an entire fuck club within the Sheriff's Department in Riverside, California. So my message to Californians, make sure that you do not vote for this person. I've already talked about him before. He's a huge MAGA person. He did video after video in 2016 and 2020 for the felon. So you know what you're working with. You know what you're dealing with there. Moving right along, an update for the Epstein crime syndicate. An update for that. No one has been arrested. No investigations have happened. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been done to any male connected to the Epstein case. Now, you do have Amanda Ungaro. She has released a statement through a media outlet. I believe Courier is the most recent one that she spoke to. So you might want to check out what she has to say, but it's the same thing I told you last week about how she feels about Melania just sitting on the sidelines when Melania knew that she had been deported and the Palo dude had taken their son away from her. But she spoke to Courier News, so you might want to check out that article. Women in Missouri this week. Listen to this. Women in Missouri, the governor of Missouri just passed a law that pregnant women are legally allowed to get divorced. In 2026, a new law in Missouri gives women the permission, if they're pregnant, to get divorced. So that means prior to 2026, if you were impregnated by an idiot, by an abusive, volatile idiot, you couldn't do shit if you lived in the state of Missouri. You could not leave that individual. Sometimes I want to ask what year it is, but really, what country is this? What country is this? Because it's just unrecognizable to me. Unrecognizable to me. So here's what I want to say. After going through all of those different cases, I just really want to say and reiterate, because apparently a lot of men have lost their fucking minds. And I just want to give you just a news flash or a friendly reminder. Women are human beings. We are human beings. We are our physical makeup. It might look a little different, but our physical makeup is just like yours. We have bodily autonomy just like you. We can refuse things. We can say no. We can decline. We can forbid. We can do not touch me. Do not kiss me. Do not put anything in me, on me. Don't do anything I don't want to do because I'm a human being and I have bodily autonomy. You don't get to tell me what I can and cannot do with my body. I don't care if I'm your fucking girlfriend. I don't care if I'm your daughter. I don't care if I'm your wife. I don't care if I'm your neighbor, person in the grocery store, just because we happen to be getting gas across from each other. I am a human being. I'm not a fucking toy. Whatever your toy of choice is, whether that's a car, a fucking drone, motorcycle, whatever it is, you can go and tinker, you can go and drive, you can put whatever shit you want to put in it, you can take whatever things you want to take off of it. Do that with your toys. We are not fucking toys and we are not property. Men, get yourself some therapy. Get yourself some proper guidance. If you don't have it around you, uncles, fathers, brothers, if they're telling you bad information, if all the things I have just talked about seemed a little okay to you, then you have some bad guidance. Get you somebody that will guide you on the proper path in regards to how to engage with individuals of the opposite sex, of the opposite gender. And check your male friends. When you know this shit is wrong, when you know the dumbass joke that they just told, when you know them catcalling that woman over there, when you know them talking flippantly about harming women, when you know all that shit is wrong, check your motherfucking friends. We shouldn't have to do it. We shouldn't have to do it. But guess what? We will. We will. And that's how this all comes back to the matriarchy. Because we are fed up. And here's the thing, when we rise and we unite, you better watch out. You better watch out. You've been served notice, get it together. Because here's the thing. We know you inside out. We gave birth to you. We raised you. We married to a lot of you. We are your confidants. We are the people that listen. We are the person or the individuals that you share your innermost thoughts with. So I promise you, if the matriarchy decided to rise up, it will not bode well for you. It will not be pretty. And dare I say, we are smarter than you as well. So get it together, men. Get your shit together. Help each other to get it together because we're tired of doing it. We are tired of doing it. And here's the thing. We're going to come together collectively really soon and put a stop to all this shit. And trust me, there will be some men that will be on board with us as well because they're tired of your asses too. So get it together. My final point to you is get it together. You've been put on notice. Get it together.